Live, this is Fox 56 News. First at 10 with Ryan Cummings and Jamie Innes.
Wow, look at this video. First at 10 tonight, tornadoes did touch down. The National Weather Service confirms at least 3 tornadoes hit our area last night. One of them was in northwest Lycoming County. That storm was an EF2. Fox 56's Katie Berlin shows us what's left behind.
It's unreal what nature can do.
To me, it sounded like a big, gigantic commercial popcorn machine, the way the trees were snapping and popping.
The National Weather Service confirms an EF2 tornado hitting northwest Lycoming County in Liberty Township.
You're just caught in like a daze because nothing like this ever happened here before.
David Ziefla has lived on Blacks Creek Road all his life. Within minutes, his farmland was altered.
You're not going to walk through there again. It's impossible, and it does a trick on your mind to know that it won't be the same ever for as long as we know it.
He and his wife Gloria have 450 acres of land, but how much is damaged, they don't know yet.
It's a lot of damage. And, how are we going to deal with all this?
Just up the hill, a large animal vet and her husband are surveying their own damage.
We heard it on the cell phones that it was coming, and we was trying to prepare and looking out the back window and heard it coming and headed downstairs and rode it out, just trying to protect the animals.
The National Weather Service says wind speeds reached 115 to 120 miles per hour.
We have some trees going from east to west and others west to east, kind of going into a central point or a central line. So that's pretty strong evidence that there was some kind of convergence or tornado coming through here.
I got a couple barns that's been destroyed out here, a couple sheds.
While there are countless trees down spanning several acres, locals say no people or animals were hurt.
And residents here are just grateful for that.
God is good. My neighborhood is good, and I'm blessed.
In Lycoming County, Katie Berlin, Fox 56 News, first at 10.
Now that tornado spanned about 2 miles right around the Lycoming-Tioga County line. Tornadoes, though, also touched down in Lackawanna County. 2 EF0s ripped through part of Springbrook Township, knocking down dozens of trees and also taking out power lines. Fox 56's Jay Jarvis is live there tonight. And Jay, this is not the first time that these people living there have dealt with this.
That's right, Ryan. Last February, an EF2 tornado hit just a mile down the road from last night's tornado. People we spoke to say they can't believe this has happened again just little more than a year later. Bent and broken tree limbs now litter either side of Aston Mountain Road. It's what's left after the first of 2 confirmed EF0 tornadoes touched down here just after 6 o'clock Tuesday.
I'm realizing the power of Mother Nature, what it does. You know what I'm saying? When you look at it, thank God it didn't kill somebody.
Frank Slusher lives in nearby Glendale. He says when he heard storms rolling through last night, he grabbed his dog Sadie and held her close.
Because a tornado could miss one house and like destroy the next one. And if it went just up there might have been people that got killed.
Fortunately, no one was injured during last night's storms. The first tornado reached speeds of 80 miles per hour. The National Weather Service says it touched down on one side of the road, crossed it, and then quickly lifted. The second touched down about 10 minutes later in another part of the township and wasn't on the ground for much longer. Storm survey crews say warmer and wetter weather patterns are to blame.
With the warmer weather around, our severe season typically runs from April all the way into the early fall. So it's not, given the weather pattern's been warmer than normal, that is not too atypical for this time of year.
But many we spoke to on and off camera say it's not something they were expecting, especially so soon after another tornado hit just a mile down the road last year.
We live in Pennsylvania, not Kansas. And it's the second one in like 2 years here. This is like Tornado Alley.
The National Weather Service says that severe weather can still strike even though we are getting deeper into fall, so it's important to have an emergency preparedness plan ready to go. Reporting live tonight in Springbrook Township, Jay Jarvis, Fox 56 News, first at 10.
Yesterday's storms are quite unusual and could end up setting a record. Chief Meteorologist Mike Linden is here now to explain why. Mike?
Jamie, a much older record at that. So this comes from the National Weather Service. Before yesterday, I should say, the record for the most tornadoes on one October day statewide was back in 1979 on the 7th of October, where we only had 4 confirmed storms. Now, just yesterday alone across the state, so far 7 tornadoes, and that number is climbing. The Civil Air Patrol is literally flying over the state to look at the track of these storms across the state. So far 7, and that number could continue to climb. So safe to say that the second of this month, this year, is a brand new record. Just to put things into perspective, when we look at the enhanced Fujita scale, this is the strength of the storm that touched down in Springbrook Township in Lackawanna County. This is on the low end of the scale here, from 65 to 85 miles per hour. As for Lycoming County and Tioga County, a much stronger storm, 111 to 135 miles per hour. With a tornado like this, those mobile homes easily become mobile, and things can get pretty dangerous. Just to put things into perspective, the scale goes all the way up to an EF5. We are talking catastrophic damage. I mean, a home reduced to rubble like that with wind speeds over 200 miles per hour. This occurred in Joplin and in spots along the Gulf Coast in Tornado Alley. Has not occurred here in Pennsylvania. Just to put, again, things into perspective of what a historic day the 2nd of October was this year. Coming up, I will show you what we can look forward to for the remainder of this week.
These officers went there unknowing the firepower the suspect had. And again, they thought it was a random search warrant.
That officer very emotional because tonight a South Carolina police officer is dead. 6 others are hurt after police tried serving a search warrant. Those gunshots started around 4 o'clock this afternoon in Florence County. That is when the first 3 officers were shot. Investigators say the suspect then shot 3 more as they rushed in to help.
New information tonight. Authorities in State College are refiling charges against former Beta Theta Pi House manager Braxton Becker. They say he deleted important surveillance footage of 19-year-old Timothy Piazza just before he died. This is the 3rd time charges of evidence tampering, obstruction, and hindering have been filed against Becker. Governor Wolf intends to sign a bill to protect victims of domestic violence. This bill, passed in the House and Senate, will keep people with orders of protection against them from buying guns. It also forces them to surrender their weapons to authorities, not family members, within 24 hours.
One person is dead after an accident last night in Lackawanna County. Police say 40-year-old Stephen Koza of Scranton was speeding on State Road 307 in Roaring Brook Township. His car spun out of control, hitting another car with an 80-year-old woman inside. She is now in the hospital. Koza did not survive. The city of Wilkes-Barre is offering free flu shots this fall. If you'd like to go, today the department kicked off its first at the Kirby Health Center downtown. People who want a free shot do have to prove that they live in town. The vaccine is only available for those older than 6 months. Young people and the elderly are the highest risk of catching the virus.
I think a lot of times there needs to be a little bit of incentive, because in the years that have passed already, I see that the flu participation in the clinics has gone down. A lot of people are anti-vaccine, anti-flu vaccine. They think that they're going to get the flu because of it, which is a myth.
Well, if you'd like to go to one of these free flu clinics, all of the dates are on our website at fox56.com. Just click on the story.
More than 300 new jobs are coming to the Poconos. Officials in Tobyhanna Township announced a new full-service medical and retail campus is moving into the New Ventures Commercial Park near Blakesley. It'll be called the Parkside Medical Campus, and it'll have 6 buildings, including a micro-hospital, office spaces, and a multi-tenant retail service plaza.
One of the great things about this innovative healthcare campus, we're not only creating jobs, but an innovative way to deliver healthcare to a changing population.
So we're looking at 3 to 6 months for approvals and permitting, and then we'd be looking to go under construction when we identify who we're going to partner with.
The campus will be the first in the Quad County corner bordering Monroe County with Carbon, Lackawanna, and Luzerne.
Here's a story for all the Willy Wonka lovers out there. Hershey Park is unveiling a new attraction called Chocolate Town. It'll feature 23 acres of space, revamping the park entrance and also adding new retail stores. At the center of the expansion will be Hershey Park's 15th roller coaster.
It's a transformational experience, so this is something that we're so very excited to bring. It's the largest capital investment we've ever made in the history of Hershey Entertainment Resorts, so it's something that we're all really honored to do, that we're in such a great position to be able to bring this to the community and to our guests.
The total price tag for that will cost around $150 million. Details of the coaster and some of the specific shops will be unveiled throughout next year. Still ahead tonight, the FBI investigation into Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh could be wrapping up tonight, why lawmakers want the report to go public.
The federal government doing a nationwide test today, why your phone alarm went off earlier this afternoon.
And the second of the month, certainly a day that we will not soon forget, but today was much, much calmer. But we are looking at even more storms on the way for tomorrow. I will show you whether or not those are likely to become severe coming up.